Hey guys, Thirsty Proof back. Been a few weeks, but I had to get in on all this GME and AMC bullshit, Diamond Hands and all that. And I was busy playing the Guilty Gear beta, which was fucking awesome, as you can see from the last few vids I put up. Anyways, today I want to talk about air fireballs, who I think might be a good champ to have an air fireball, and how I personally deal with them in Street Fighter V. Realistically, you can give anybody an air fireball. I mean, if Riot really wanted to, Teemo could have aerial mushrooms that are purely invisible, and that's just because they thought it was fun. So I'm going to pick a champ that I want to see with an air fireball, even though there might be better choices. But first, for any new players randomly seeing this vid, I'll just talk about what a air fireball means if it's on a character. If a character has an air fireball in a slower paced traditional Street Fighter game, they are either a superpowered character with a million tools like Akuma, or a pesky keep-away character like Falk. Since Street Fighter games usually have low movement options, avoiding an air fireball becomes really hard since they take up so much space on the screen. So a character having one usually means they have a weakness somewhere. Though with Street Fighter, it usually means they just have low health. Long story short, air fireballs are super annoying and hard to deal with. So in terms of Project L, I'm looking for somebody in League that already has a projectile, but has an odd way to throw them. Since throwing an air fireball in old school Street Fighter 2 was a super strange thing to see way back when. So I'm going to go with Twisted Fate. Cutting right to the point and ignoring most of his kit, I'm going to focus on his pick a card skill. If you haven't played League before, when Twisted Fate does pick a card, 3 cards appear over his head for a set amount of time, and he has to manually choose the one he wants to throw. Each card does something different, but that's not really the point I want to focus on. I want to focus on Twisted Fate being able to delay picking a card. When TF does the ability, he doesn't have to pick a card right away. I think this would be perfect for an air fireball mechanic. I would make it so that after he does the move and the cards start cycling over his head, he could throw it anywhere he chooses. That includes the air. Basically, if you were fighting a TF in Project L, you'd see him pick a card and instantly know he's about to start trying to zone you. And since you knowing TF is about to throw a card kind of fucks his zoning game, I'd let him throw it at any time with no startup. And he could probably even throw it during a back jump. Anyways, that's who I want to have an air fireball in Project L. Now to the other part of what I wanted to talk about was my shitty way of dealing with air fireballs in Street Fighter V. I figure new players knowing how to fight air fireballs is probably important, since someone likely in the base Project L cast will have one. And admittedly, I'm not the best player in the world, so my method of dealing with Akuma's air fireballs might make a top player laugh in my face, but this is what works for me. Alright, Akuma. First thing you need to know about air fireballs is that they have a ton of recovery on landing. For me, it was kind of hard to tell this when I first started out. Once you block an air fireball at that certain spacing, it feels like it's still at an advantage for them. So I never really pressed back, I never really challenged them. So in my head, someone throwing an air fireball and me blocking it, no matter the spacing or the distance, meant that it wasn't my turn. So I kind of just let that rock for ever. But that's not the case, and they definitely have a ton of landing recovery. And the second thing you need to know about air fireballs is that if you know it's coming, you can get a massive punish, usually by way of neutral jumping. But for me, I hate randomly neutral jumping during the neutral. It's a tactic, and again, high level players could be like, yo, dude, you have to neutral jump a lot in Street Fighter, you fucking idiot. But for me, at my level and what feels comfortable for me, it just doesn't mesh with how I like to play the game. So one day I finally saw the other weakness to air fireballs, and that is the hard walk forward. Combining the long landing recovery and long startup animation of them stopping in the air to throw the fireball, you have all the time in the world to just walk under them and get a full punish most of the time. But this punish requires two really important things. You have to know your opponent wants to throw one, and you already have to be walking forward. I know the need to already be walking forward sounds weird, but after some practice, you start seeing how easy it is to set up. What I like to do is get some space between me and Akuma, enough so that my hard walk forward doesn't really get hit by any of his buttons. The idea is that if he did do an air fireball, I don't have to react since I'm already walking, thus I'm already walking under him by the time my brain sees the jump. It's really strong once you get used to it. This concept alone just destroys low-level Akuma players, and that's pretty much it. I just wanted to talk about that, show what I do. It's a weird idea for a Project L video, talking about more bullshit speculation and then like how I would deal with someone who had what I'm speculating about. But I don't know. I'm fucking thirsty for some goddamn Project L news. Anyway, here's a replay of me doing exactly that concept. The key thing to look for during this replay is you kind of have to just walk forward sometimes. You just have to like do it to see if they know. And this guy definitely didn't know, and he kept hanging himself out to dry. And you'll see it. You'll see it. Anyways, that's it for me today. You guys take it easy.
Easy ablation.
Round 2. Fight! Fight! Round 2. Fight! Final round. Fight! Guile wins.